What's up, guys? I wish I was saying good morning, but I'm not because I just got home from work. First day back since I went on vacation last week, and I got really used to going to bed at like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Today was my first day back. My alarm clock goes, I'm so tired I can't even talk properly. Not that I could when I'm not tired. Anyway, I went to bed probably about 1, I went to bed last night probably about 1 or 2 in the morning, and my alarm clock goes off to wake me up for work at 4:20 in the morning. So that's not a lot of sleep, and I'm not really feeling like doing much, but the show must go on. So I'm gonna maybe try to take the dash out of that Rx7 because there is a problem with the odometer. The numbers don't light up, and apparently it's fixable. So let's see if we can fixable it. Step number 1, need a star screwdriver. Phillips, should be a Phillips. I think it's a Phillips, kinda. No screw in that first one. So if you wanna get to the gauge cluster, which is behind this, first thing that's gotta go is around the steering column. Because when you pop it all off, you gotta clear that. 2 out of 3 screws in there, that makes my job easy. Top piece comes off, don't lose your screws. And this piece here, there's a little light for beside the key. You gotta just twist that out. You see it? Oh, yeah, whatever. Keep your screws with that part, and we'll come back for the rest. So that piece is off, and if I'm not mistaken, this just pops off, but I could be mistaken, especially on 2 hours of sleep. Like, I don't even remember what I had for supper last night until this morning. Let's just take a dash apart. Oh, cut it out. 0 destruction. Score. There was a screw in there, that's gone. Apparently there was a screw in there too. That's gone too. So let's try this one. Oh, look at there's one screw right beside the hood latch release. Okay, down here I was missing one more screw, and this is all pretty much loose and ready to come out already. Get my screwdriver. Figure out where it went, and I'll get this last screw right here. Okay, found out where it went. Just gotta find the screw. Should be out. It's out. Separate that from that. So once you get that far, you reach in behind, pull off all these connectors. Cheese and rice. This is hard to get to, man. Okay, so instead of watching me sweat underneath that thing, I'm just gonna tell you what's up. You undo the bolts around the front of the gauge cluster. There's a couple underneath. You gotta pull off that trim like I showed you. There's a couple screws underneath there. And then you have the hood connected to the gauge bezel itself. The front plate, that kind of comes out as one piece because there's screws in behind that you have to get. That hood thing should just kind of clip into your dash. Maybe not the case with mine. I'll try to get it out. I'll get back to you. Okay, so after a couple minutes of busting my fingers and foul language and trying to fit my arms in behind a dash that I don't know who designed this evilness. Anyway, so here it is, it's out. Look at this nice carbon fiber, can you see that on there? What we have to do, get that odometer out of there. It's in there. We'll go from the back and attack. First things first, we'll get this complete cluster out of the way. I see 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's find out. One, 2, 3, 4. Da, 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 da. It worked. It came out. Right on. Okay, gauge cluster's out. Now we gotta figure out the next step. Gotta get inside that odometer somehow because I'm pretty sure there's burnt capacitors or resistors. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but time to look into that. We need to get the plastic face that covers the gauges. We gotta take that off first and then separate the housing from the actual cluster itself. So to do that, a screw in this corner and a screw in this corner and then some little clips like this here. Hopefully we can, if you can, I don't know if you can see that, but should be able to just pop those out with a screwdriver. So now gotta pop these suckers out. Don't even need a screwdriver. All right, so that's what's left of the cluster. Took those pieces off. Also a great opportunity if you want to do any like personal touches and modifications to that. Now's the time. So I think we're gonna have to go from the back. There's a bunch of screws and stuff in there. I am betting that we're gonna have to take pretty much all these screws out. These 3 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should do it. Now be careful when you do that because the gauge just started falling out on me. Once these 3 screws comes out, apparently it's loose. I'll flip over here. And carefully, easy as we go. Make sure. All right, we're cool. There's your tack. It's upside down, I know, but we have to get this out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Start with those. So be careful when you pull these screws out because your contact point is actually right there on this circuit board, and I almost ripped it clean off. So be careful with that. Oh, almost destroyed that again. Be careful. Okay, thingy in there, a little ribbon sort of deal. So I guess this is coming off. That makes 6 screws, 5 little ones, and this big one here. See in there, there's that little ribbon. You gotta be careful when you pull that out. And then here we have a little tiny plug. So without busting everything too much, let's try to get this little plug out. Ta-da! Okay, so I got most of the cluster out. I can already see where the capacitors are burnt out, and that's apparently a common issue with these things is that, I mean, the car's 26 years old, so after time, your capacitors, they start leaking, and then once that fluid kind of drains out, they're basically useless, and then it leaves like little dark burn marks on the circuit board itself. So that's how you know they're finished. And now I can already see from where it is, that piece is finished. So I think next we're gonna have to take out the soldering iron to burn a few solders off just to get the cluster to come off, and then we can actually get in there and see what parts are really burnt. So, and also too, it's not a bad idea at all to take pictures while you're doing this. I mean, lucky for me, I'm filming it, so I can just go back, watch this video and see exactly what bolt or screw I took out of where and hopefully figure it all out and put it back together. So keep that in mind. Reference, it's always good to have a reference of what you're doing. The tack is fine. The torque is fine. We don't need to play with that. Stick this stuff here. This is our main focus right now. If I am right, I hope I'm right, I have to undo this screw, and then to get the whole system off, we're gonna have to take out these 4 solders right here. Got to be very careful. Take out this screw. Oh, you should be careful not to mash it into the countertop like I just did. That's not a bad idea. 1 screw, 2 screws. I'm screwed. Gonna have to dig in there with the soldering iron. Whoa. All right, so soldering iron's out. It's ready, it's warm. I got a can of lemonade. It's gonna just totally indigestion or acid. Anyway, let's ruin a speedometer. I'm gonna have to undo these 4 solders and drop out the gauge. Stinky. Something gave out. Oh, I get it. Okay, so you got all kinds of pins on this, if you can see those. They all fit into here, this way somewhere.
Do you know the way?
Now that's out. We don't need the iron. Now, here we can see the issue. I don't know if you guys can see it. I hope you can see it, but all this brown stuff around the circuit boards, that's all like fluid that helps run these things. That's all leaked out over time and made a pretty big mess of this board. So I'm gonna have to figure the next step out. This could be interesting. All right, so I phoned up my parts guy where I get my stuff from, Car Fever, talked to him a bit, and he says just by looking at the pictures, he can tell that there's a lot of burnt there he is now. He can tell that there's a lot of burnt capacitors, a lot of burnt components on this, and he thinks that it's been overheated. So because it's like 7 o'clock almost, Tuesday, 7 o'clock p.m., pretty much everything is closed. There's not a chance that I'm gonna be able to find the right parts to fix this board. So tomorrow on the way home from work, we are going to bring this to Fred and see what he could do. So I won't film that part, but I'll let you know what happens. So stick around. So here's a little update. It's been about 4 days since I took that tack off and I brought it to get fixed. And it might be a little while, but that's okay because there's still a wiring problem with the Rx7. And I'm gonna bring it to the same place where the tack is to get the wires figured out. So for today, I don't have much to do. I figured I'm gonna chill a little bit in the garage, watch some Simpsons, and clean up and organize a bit because while I'm trying to work on this, I find that since I tuck my toolboxes in the back and all the jacks and the lights and everything go into the back of the garage, the car's kind of blocking everything. So every time I need something, I have to go around the other side and the extension cords don't reach, yada yada. So I think I'm gonna put it this way because those cabinets are holding all the parts for the car. And if all the tools are back there, I can easily access everything. And then whenever I have to work on something inside, bring a car into the garage, you know, my buddies might be coming over soon to work on some stuff. At least I know I have room in the back of the garage because right now, the way it sits, when you back up all the way over here, you gotta make sure you don't run into the side of the car. So today is just cleaning, organizing, chilling, enjoying the day, and setting up for new things to come. So let's just hang out, huh? So today was a day of cleaning, organizing, chilling, just enjoying the day, taking it slow. I had to go out and get a few things and yada yada, whatever. So cleaned everything that was up there, all the stuff that was on top of those storage cabinets because I didn't know what was up there. I was looking for my rad support, my radiator for the Acadian. Came down quicker than I thought it would. Oops. Now that it's actually nice out, if I do have to work on another car, I can just push the Rx7 outside. No worry about it being damaged by any kind of weather or stuff like that on nice days. Diesel, how'd you get grass in your color? Where you going? Where you going? So I'll do what I do. I'll do what I can in here and I'll keep you guys up to date in the next one. Peace. Thanks for watching. You know I appreciate it. You know I love you. Stay happy. See you next time.